Hey everybody, Ryan here coming at you with my daily vlog for today. This is the first of my many to come themed daily vlogs where I'm not just recording my day, but I'm actually doing something and showing something off for you guys, whether it's something going on in my town or just something of historical significance or a location of some kind. Today is the first of a few cemetery videos that I will be doing on this channel. The first one is something that happened here well over 100 years ago, and it didn't necessarily happen right here at this cemetery, but the cemetery that I'm in is dedicated, has a monument dedicated to what happened, in memory of what happened. This is the cemetery that I have many family members buried in. It's basically one of the main cemeteries in Jacksonville Beach. I'm actually sitting right now at my grandparents' grave. It's like one of the ones that I remember coming to when I was a kid, because it's my grandparents on my dad's side. They passed away. Well, all my grandparents passed away before I was born, but I remember coming here a lot, growing up and seeing, my grandparents' grave, which is right here, right in front of me. I'm actually sitting on a bench right in front of it. I always, whenever I come into the cemetery for any reason, I always stop by, or if I pass by, I usually stop by. It's been a few years. So, but anyways, I am here because over that way is a monument dedicated to people who lost their lives in a time before there was medicine and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk over there and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. This monument is dedicated by the city of Jacksonville Beach in memory of the legendary victims of yellow fever between 1888 and 1889. And this is dedicated on June 17th, 1979. So back in 1888, a man by the name of Richard McCormick from Tampa came to Jacksonville. I guess he was a saloon owner. I don't know why he was here, but he was staying at a hotel somewhere in Jacksonville. I forgot the name of it. I just read about it, but I forgot the name of it. But he stayed here in Jacksonville, and he started feeling sick, weak, and eventually he realized something was wrong, and other people started having the same exact symptoms. That began the yellow fever panic. So basically, everybody was getting sick. Nobody really knew what the causes of all the sickness was. They figured it was some kind of disease in the air. So I found a picture of some of the city actually burning because they were trying to burn out all the infection in the air. Over the course of the year, and really it lasted for many years after, but it was really big in 1 year, like it really came hard. One of the main things they thought it was like an infection in the air, so they were burning stuff to burn the infection out of the air. Come to find out, way in the future, they realized it was actually mosquitoes, so they kept trying to kill this species of mosquitoes. Apparently, I think it was like one certain mosquito that was causing the whole thing. Thousands and thousands of people died, and it was here in Jacksonville, and it was a citywide thing back in 1889. People were actually leaving. Refugees were leaving the city and going into other cities, Atlanta, down to Miami, wherever. It wasn't like Jacksonville wasn't like how it was now. It wasn't actually called Jacksonville at the time. There was a period of time where I think they called it Ruby Beach, and then in Pablo Beach, and there's been a couple other names as well before it became Jacksonville years later. But they actually, thousands and thousands of people died, and it was years before it stopped. But people were going to these other cities and they were being turned away, and there were some cities that said basically if you enter, you're gonna get shot. That's basically how it was. And I'm pretty sure some people were there was a panic going on. People tried to go to different cities, and they were probably killed because of it. And so it was a really crazy time period, and I never heard a lot of talk about it up until just recently. I realized that it happened here. A lot of people know about the Great Fire that happened in Jacksonville at the turn of the century, but nobody, I never really heard anybody talk about the yellow fever epidemic. And it was all in this area, and it was known nationwide. Everybody knew about it. So eventually it went away as they started killing the mosquitoes and stuff. But like I said, thousands and thousands of people died, and there's no social media, there was no news like how there is today. There was no Twitter, none of that stuff. So, you know, how everybody's talking about how everybody was talking about Ebola and the West Nile virus and all that kind of stuff. There was no way to actually just talk about it on social media and stuff back then. Everybody had to find out through, you know, conversations with people, newspapers. Eventually, you know, with everybody dying, it was like one of those things everybody knew about it. So I wanted to come here and check out that monument, because I didn't realize that they actually had a monument here, and it was actually, this cemetery was dedicated to that happening. And so I just thought that was really interesting, so I wanted to come by here and share you guys with it, share it with you guys. So in that section of the cemetery, I actually filmed my zombie short film that I did a few years back, where I was being attacked by a zombie. I just actually filmed it right over there. I had my car parked right over there, and I ran out that way. So you guys that remember that, it was all filmed on this part of the cemetery right here. So yeah, that's actually my grandparents' grave right over there. Whew. It is hot outside today. You know, I like it when it's hot, but I just forgot how hot it was and how hot it's been. So yeah, this cemetery used to have a lot more tree coverage from what I remember, but I think they've had to chop some down in some areas because of, you know, storms and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's still being upkept really nice here. I mean, the main road, Beach Boulevard, and there's another road, Penman Road, that kind of, you know, parallels or not parallels, but is on the outskirts, at the border of the cemetery. They're fairly loud roads during the day, but at night, it's actually pretty quiet. Yes, when I was younger, I used to come in here at night with friends, and we'd think we'd see like ghosts and all that kind of stuff. Whether they were there or not, it was still thrilling and fun to do that kind of stuff when you're a teenager and you're younger. You're not supposed to be in here at night, but there was something about going into a cemetery at night that was just thrilling. So, and just scared the crap out of you, whether you even saw anything or not. You could see a bush shake or hear it shake, and you think the devil himself is coming up to get you. I mean, it was pretty hilarious. And I've always been a horror movie fan and into that all that stuff. So heck, I got a kick out of all those thrills, especially some of the places I've been to in Jacksonville that are supposedly haunted, that, you know, some of us would go visit. You know, a friend of mine that would have their driver's license, we would go visit certain places, you know, in Jacksonville, you know, back when I was like in high school and stuff. And there were some pretty awesome places. And I don't know whether I saw a real ghost or not, but there's something about your brain playing tricks on you in those kind of situations where it almost like you imagine that you actually see something, especially if it's dark. So that always made me laugh. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed that part of it. I got a bunch of other spots that this one was just me going to a monument and talking about it, but there's actual locations here that have huge historical, you know, they're huge importance in regards to the history of this city and the United States in general that is here. So, and I would even say there's a lot of stuff that happened here that's history of the world type stuff. So I have a whole bunch of ideas written down. So like every once in a while, this week is going to be actually heavy in that kind of stuff. Every other day or so, I'm gonna try to do one of those. But you know, throughout the vlogs, randomly there'll be another one that shows up. It won't just be me coming home from work at night kind of vlog. It won't just be an all day kind of vlog. It'll be, some of them will be pinpointed topics, because that was my goal from the beginning, is randomly do those kind of videos. So I know you guys will enjoy them, because pretty much everybody who comments on my videos and watches my videos, you guys know my love of history, and you guys have always been very awesome at telling me, you know, whether it was interesting and all that kind of stuff. So like, I don't feel like I'm being boring when I'm talking about all this stuff. If you click on this video knowing it's titled The Yellow Fever Epidemic of 1988 or 1888 in Jacksonville, you're gonna click on it expecting to hear about that. But my viewers throughout my YouTube, you know, career, I guess you could say, have been very receptive to my love of history, and you guys like hearing me. I guess you guys like hearing me babble on about stuff, like just stuff for the heck of it. So thank you guys so much for that. That's awesome. Whew. I need some water really bad. I'm not gonna squeeze this one like crazy like Adam does in his videos. For those of you who don't know, major inspiration for me and this channel is Adam the Woo's daily vlog channel. I've watched Adam the Woo for years, but he is like a main inspiration for me. And in his videos, when he drinks water, he like, you know, squeezes the bottle when he's done drinking it. I'm not gonna do that because this bottle is huge. So, but I do need to have a drink of water. All right, y'all. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and head back. I really just want. Yeah, my keys are jiggling right there. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna head home now, and then I will be heading over to my mother-in-law's house in a little while, and we will be having dinner, and then I'll be heading back home.
Being in an environment that involved all these huge oaks
and the brutal honesty at times of the natural world, which of course Terry is, I say obsessed with, but passionate about.
Alright everybody, well, as you see, for the last few hours my wife and I have actually been diving through all the special features on Terrence Malick's The New World Criterion Collection Blu-ray set. This is a film that me and my wife both love. We're both huge Terrence Malick fans. If you followed me on my channel on this channel, or even my main channel, especially my main channel, since 2011, you would know that I love everything Terrence Malick has done. And so we dove through all these special features, and one thing that just is so crazy to me about him is the fact that he's such an artistic genius, but yet we only know him through pictures. We only have a few pictures of him. He's private. He's never in any interviews. He's never in any of the behind-the-scenes documentary making of footage. None of that. He's not in any of that stuff. But you know, he's known as being somebody who's very private in that way, but yet he's very close to everybody on set. He's very hands-on. I just want to meet, I would love to meet him, but I want to see this creative genius. I just whistled in an interview. I want to see him talk, because somebody with that brilliant of a brain and artistic mind, they have to be interesting to talk to or to listen to. So maybe one day we'll get something like that. If I missed an interview, if he is in an interview, which I doubt it, leave the link to that interview down below. I would like to see that. But as far as I know, he hasn't done any interviews whatsoever. I know that I just know that he's always been private like that. It's just, and it's also crazy to me that after, you know, Days of Heaven in 1978, which is one of the greatest movies ever made, he didn't make another movie for 20 years. Like, I've always known that, but sometimes I can't wrap my brain around 20 years between films. His next film was A Thin Red Line that came out in 1998. 20 years. Was it 98 or 97? I think it was 98 theatrically. But he's just a brilliant filmmaker. And so that's what we did this evening. Earlier we went to my mother-in-law's house. We had some dinner, Sunday dinner, and came back. I read a lot today. Read about half of Stephen King's Gerald's Game, which I did not understand. I didn't know the subject matter, but it started out pretty weird. But it's turning into one of the most, I can't put it down. I cannot put this book down. Let me know if you've read it down below, but don't give me any spoilers because I'm only about halfway through. Probably about 40% of the way through. Huge Stephen King fan. This is just one I haven't read. I haven't read probably about 5 or 6 of his earlier books. I've read all the big named ones and some small ones on a lot of his short stories, but this one and there's a few others I haven't read yet, so I'm gonna spend the next few months going through them again. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I hope you enjoyed the learning about Jacksonville's yellow fever epidemic of 1888. I cannot believe I just found out about that recently, and I wanted to share that with y'all. I have some other stuff planned. I did even more research on a couple things between this evening and when I was at the cemetery. So I'm gonna definitely do these videos. There's gonna be a few of them this week, but every once in a while you'll see one of these type of daily vlogs. So I hope you enjoy them. I enjoy doing them because history is another passion of mine. In fact, my love of history is what got me into film in the first place. So, but anyways, I think you guys have heard me talk about that enough. So now I'm just gonna chill out for a little while, watch a movie, go to bed in a little bit, wake up, edit this video. I usually wait, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I edit the previous day's daily vlog. Literally, I'm still laying in bed when I edit the videos. And then I get out of bed. So usually when I'm off, I usually wake up around between 6:30 and 8. Anytime between 6:30 and 8, I wake up, and then I film, the vlogs. I think there's something I have doing tomorrow, but I'm not sure. We haven't, one of my buddies, we haven't put it set in stone, but I do know that Tuesday night I am seeing Star Trek Beyond with my wife, my sister-in-law, and her significant other. And the next day I'm going to a baseball game. So it's going to be a pretty good week. I'm really looking forward to this week. I'm literally spending each of these days doing stuff. The thing that stinks about that is that it's going to go by quick, but it's okay. I got my vacation coming in October, and I have a few days off around my birthday, which is September 20th. Yeah, that's my birthday. I kind of blanked for a second. And actually, that same week would be 10 years since me and my wife started dating back in 2006. So that is crazy. We've been together 10 years. We've been married almost 6 years, but we've been together for almost 10 years. It's mind-boggling to think about. And I've enjoyed every single year. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in tomorrow's vlog. Bye.